we're grandparents of soon to be 11. We're grandparents of 10 right now. And then our
Only
daughter,
through the grace of God.
she has 6 children, and he has almost 5. 4 and a half, one's cooking.
Tomorrow, not today.
Happy birthday to you.
Before we really knew one another, we had sold all our belongings and were living in a van and later a bus and touring Texas and Arizona and surrounding areas, playing in bars and playing music every night. And we got pregnant, and that was no big deal. I'll just go get an abortion because that's what we do. That's what I was taught to do, and I was literally thinking it would be no different from going to get my teeth cleaned at the dentist.
And I, being a rake and irresponsible, I put it out of my mind.
We really didn't think it was going to be anything. But I'll tell you what happened. The moment that the abortion occurred, I noticed that the entire staff of the abortion clinic no longer made eye contact with me. I became emotional, and no one took any attention or regard for that. And I was shuffled out, not the front door, no, I was shuffled out a back door. I stumbled down to my car, a complete wreck. I knew immediately that I had done something frightful. And that moment is particularly memorable for me because that was the first time in my life that I can say that God reached down from heaven with his arm, his loving hand, and he actually spoke to me. And here's how he did it. On the ground outside the door of my car, which I could hardly see through the tears, there was a little shiny something on the ground, and I picked it up, and it was a lapel pin that looked like it had been in that parking lot, driven over 1,000 times. It was dented, but it was colorful, it was painted. It was a picture of a mother bird with her wings spread over some babies, and it said, "He careth for you."
Old English.
Well, that's how I knew it was God, because he was speaking King James. That sounds funny, but it's actually true. And he was consoling me in that which was my darkest moment, assuring me that he cared. How amazing is that? And so it wasn't much longer after that we got pregnant again. In the extraordinary
This
turn
time
of events.
I delivered you to the door.
This time you did. It was in Corpus Christi, of all places, Texas. There were ladies grouped in a cluster outside of the clinic praying. And to these ladies I will forever be indebted, and one day I'd like to thank them in person if I have the chance in glory. I paid $100 at the desk, and I went and sat down.
Meanwhile, I was in the car thinking about this, and it weighed heavy on me.
The night before this appointment, you became ill with vomiting and diarrhea all night long. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
We hardly slept. You were having a complete catharsis of the body.
Convulsing.
Yes. Well, a miracle occurred in that abortion clinic, which was that the doctor took about an hour to get to my appointment. That is to say, he was busy with the person before me. And so I sat there. Jerry was thinking on his end, and I was also on my end. I began to think, I don't really know this fellow that's knocked me up, and I don't know if he's gonna stay with me or not, but I'm gonna keep this baby. I run to the desk to get my $100 back. Let me out of here. Just as Jerry runs in saying, "Come on, let's get out of here." sitting outside the abortion
In the
clinic.
car,
You proposed to me.
and I proposed to you.
And I'll tell you what I remember.
What's that?
I remember the grin on my face. I was so happy
Really?
that you asked. That I wasn't going to have
Was
to
it
do
about
it.
time?
Okay, so that boy that was in my tummy at that moment, that was our almost abortion, is now a 35-year-old father of 5. That's our story. And it shaped us. And it introduced me to a loving, caring God. Did you want to say more about it?
I think I've said all I need to say.